Hi, are you doing alright? It's Johnny here from Pet Needs, and today I am with Jess Guise from Guise.
From Guise!
From Guise! How are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Excellent, not too bad, not too bad. So, yeah, I've been asked by Xtra Mile to interview people that have been playing The Gathering. Can you explain to people what The Gathering is and why it's important?
That's a really good question. The Gathering is, it's like a little Xtra Mile / Frank Turner festival that was actually originally, it was all supposed to be outdoors, socially distanced before, when we didn't think indoor shows, we had no idea when they were going to be possible, and it was about gathering people together in as safe as possible in as safe as possible a manner, as early as possible, and that was kind of the idea, because we were just pining for human contact, but then it sort of morphed and changed and stuff, so now we're here playing Manchester Apollo today, which is massive. It's really big, so it's changed a bit, but it's basically just a celebration of gathering lots of people, label mates, who are all actually kind of like one big family as well, which is really rather lovely. And that's what it is.
That's it. And it's so strange because it feels like it snowballed as a concept.
It did, definitely.
Like the fact that we started, our first gig was in the Big Sheep in Bideford, which
was wonderful.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Really cool.
It was
I like
so
the facts of Cider, and it was very Devon. It was really good.
Yeah, it was incredible, and things just seem to have. We've gone to so many different places, and it's kind of like morphed into its own kind of beast, really. And now we're at Manchester Apollo.
Manchester Apollo,
which is incredible. Have you been here before?
No, certainly not played here before. Probably because my family are all from Manchester originally, so I've probably been here as a kid, but not as an adult. So it's really big. So I just keep thinking, oh my god, it's really big.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
We've just had sound check, and you're just about to sound check. So, hearing your sound through that bigger PA is you feel powerful. Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Have you had a favourite gathering show that you've played so far?
Ooh, that's a really tough one. Because we also did a few other shows that weren't officially gathering shows, but it's sort of the same family, isn't it? So I loved that Brighton one, but I'm not sure that was a gathering. But it was magic. And then I really liked the Gloucester, first day in Gloucester. It was just baking sunshine, and it actually felt like summer for a day.
Yeah.
Whereas we hadn't had any summer really this summer, so that was really nice.
I think that's what's been so lovely about the gathering shows as well, that they've taken us to venues like Concord 2 in Brighton, which again, it was beautiful and glorious, and it was people crammed in, and then it's taken us to places like Gloucester where we played a Priory. Yeah,
which was amazing. That was beautiful. I love the history of it. And I also I did love the Big Sheep because they have Devon's biggest roller coaster and sheep.
Yes.
They also have sheep.
Yeah, because you got there earlier than us.
So you got on the roller coaster first thing in the morning before breakfast. That's how you should start every day.
And the sheep race as well, apparently.
Sheep race was really good, yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you. You started as an actor, and now you've gone into playing music. And what is the difference, do you feel, between going on stage as someone else, acting, and then going on stage as yourself? Do you find it more freeing, or do you find it more terrifying, or is it all of those things?
Both of those things, yeah, absolutely both of those things. I basically always wanted to do both, acting and music, but this music was significantly more frightening to me. So I didn't do this for a really long time. And acting can be terrifying as well, but you do have someone else, you have lots of other people to kind of hide behind. You have your character, so therefore you also have the writer, whoever that may be, and there's the director, and there's other creative voices in there that you're working together with, and I also love that collaborative process, but it also makes you feel a bit safer, whereas when it's, especially when I'm with my band, it's a bit different, but when it's literally just me, which today it's going to be me and my guitar on the Manchester Apollo stage, and that's really scary. So yeah, that's much scarier, and I don't have a lot of filter in the songs that I write. They're very personal, as are yours. So I think it's that thing where you're going, this is the inside of my brain, please be gentle to it, because this is the only one I've got. So it's definitely more scary, but it is also much more fun. It's much more fun.
I think that's what I found as well. With acoustic shows, you're saying you're going on with the guitar on your own. Yeah. Since we've been doing acoustic shows, we did that as part of a lot of our gathering shows. Yeah. Suddenly, for us, everyone can hear the lyrics. It suddenly feels a lot more personal.
Are you acoustic today?
No, we're electric today. We're full electric, so I can hide behind loads of distortion and stuff like that. So you're also kind of really interested in psychology and things like that. And I want to ask you the question, which is quite an open question, but why do you play music?
I don't know. I've never not played music. It has always been more powerful than anything else in my life to me. It just always has been. Why do I play it? Probably because it's like, so I'm training as a counselling psychologist, I'm basically training as a therapist, and music is sort of a therapy in its own way as well. It's like a release, and I think writing, it's about communication actually rather than like personal therapy. It's about sharing what you feel with someone else. That's why I don't play, like it's all about the words to me really, because you're sharing it with someone else, and that's why I do it, I think, for that communication and communion stuff, which I think is probably fairly true of a lot of Xtra Mile artists and lots of people on this lineup. We're all very word-focused people.
Yeah, so, completely.
Yeah, exactly. So that's as good as an answer as I can come up with. We're on the stairs in the way.
No, that is great. So we are shooting in a stairwell at the moment. We're trying to find the quietest, and the quietest place that didn't look. Actually, no. We don't talk about that.
Like a prison.
Like a prison. I didn't know we could say that.
Some of those, like the dressing rooms on the top floor and the Apollo too. They're very comfortable. They do have a prison vibe.
Yeah, they're treating us so well. They're so lovely. Final thing. Oh, actually, I want to ask you one more thing. You said that you write it as kind of like a conversation.
Yeah.
And who do you think you're talking to when you're writing?
A lot of the time I feel like I'm talking to, it depends on what I'm writing about. Quite a lot of the time I'm talking to myself and telling myself to stop being a dick. That's a lot of the time, that's what I'm doing. Quite often I'm throwing it out into the world and going, is anyone else this much of an idiot? That's the thing I do quite a lot. Sometimes it's quite specific, like if there's a song for my dad who passed away, that's for my dad. If it's a love song, it's probably for my husband. But more often than not, it's kind of me that I'm talking to, and I like stop the ones where I'm being sort of like, this behaviour is terrible of mine. It's normally like a sort of a self-referential circle of criticism. There's a lot of that. So yeah, don't know. What about you?
I don't know. It's hard. I think. It depends because I think some of our lyrics are really personal, and then it's writing kind of, again, coming from kind of like psychology background and stuff, like my background's in counselling psychology as well, and it's a lot of kind of like self-reflection stuff, but then sometimes I want to write stuff that just make people laugh as well sometimes,
exactly.
but that's more of an audience, but those kind of things come from just conversations I've had and things like that. Like there's something that Jake said to me that's going into a line in album 2, that he said that Jake's our cameraman, by the way, and he said that he watched so much of a certain series one day, like the other day, that he saw the characters physically age, and I love that idea, and I love that, and I thought it's just a beautiful way of kind of like telling a story, because you can understand where someone's kind of like mental health is, and they're starting to lock themselves away and they're seeing the characters physically age in series.
You've watched a lot of telly.
In a day, that's it. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it's kind of
it's like collective,
self-reflective.
it's like a scrapbook sometimes as well, isn't it? Stuff that you sort of find and notice, and you go, that is cool, and I want to demonstrate, like I want to translate what I think is cool about it to other people, sort of pass it along. That's
it. So finally, tell us about your album.
So the album is nearly finished. It's an album, like the album has been on the cards for about a decade, because like I was too scared to do it for a really, really long time. So some of the songs are really old, and some of them are not, some of them are really new. My husband, Frank, has been producing it in our new studio at home, which is really cool, but also has its issues working with your husband. But it's been great. I think I'm a bit of a nightmare, but it has been great, and it's sounding really good. So it should be finished soon, I hope. But it's been a bit buggered by lockdown, because obviously my bassist was stuck in Berlin and so on and so forth. But we're very nearly there, so it's really exciting. Hopefully it'll be out next year, I think, at this juncture. But yeah, it's cool.
That's amazing. Working with your husband to create something, so I work with my brother to create.
Yeah, you do.
One, do you, and two, how do you? Because I haven't found out. Switch off.
I don't know, because we're not very good. We're both obsessed with music, and we're both obsessed with what we do. So I think it's quite easy, because Frank's career is just necessarily a priority a lot of the time. So he has to delineate quite strongly between when he's working on his stuff and when he's making space for other things. So that's quite useful. And yeah, I don't know. I think wine I think wine is maybe how we switch off.
Yeah.
So once you pour a glass of wine, you're not working anymore. We don't drink in the studio.
Cool.
So that might be it.
That is such, yeah, when we demoed with him, I finished, as soon as I finished my work, I was like, right, beer time. So
So Frank's, there's a lot of things to do when you're producing, so he doesn't really drink when he's
not
working,
at all.
so then neither do I. So we make our first glass of wine, it's like, okay, we're off. Not that we need, like, there are other ways of switching off as well, but that's quite a clear delineator.
Of course, yeah. Well, best of luck with your set tonight. You need to run sound check now.
Yes, it's time.
You're gonna have so much fun up there. I'm so excited. It's gonna be amazing, and yeah, it's so cool to hang out with someone else from the Xtra Mile family.
Yeah.
And yeah, best of luck with the set, and we'll have some wine afterwards.
Same to you. We will have wine after switch off time. It'll be great.
There we go.
It'll be great. Have fun.
Cool. Perfect.